Hello, my name is Tamar Nadirashvili. I am a gynecologist and reproductive specialist at GGRC Clinic and Surrogate Service Company. And today we are starting a series of expert videos related to surrogacy programs. In these videos, I will explain surrogacy programs in detail and help you understand all the questions. Surrogacy differs from natural pregnancy in that my genetic child is carried by a surrogate mother, that is another woman. I do not carry the child myself. My embryo is transferred to the surrogate mother, and the surrogate mother acts as a vessel, the person who helps me achieve the joy of motherhood. First and foremost, surrogacy is necessary for medical reasons. That is, for women who do not have a uterus, women who have had cancer and are prohibited from becoming pregnant, women who have severe chronic illnesses, diabetes, for example, women who have transplanted organs and are prohibited from pregnancy. Also, surrogacy is permissible for single couples, for single men who have no other way to have the desired child. A surrogate mother is a woman who is willing to carry your child for a certain compensation. She should be a healthy woman, usually under 38 years old. Sometimes surrogate mother programs allow women up to 40 years old. I repeat, she is a healthy woman who must have at least one genetic child of her own. It is preferable that she has given birth no more than 4 times in her life. One cesarean section in her medical history is allowed in the program. Sometimes we accept surrogate mothers with 2 cesarean sections when the scar area on the uterus is in good condition. There is no genetic connection between the child and the surrogate mother. Genetically, my embryo is transferred to the surrogate mother, and she acts as a kind of vessel, a carrier of this embryo. There is no genetic link. The embryo receives nothing from the surrogate mother, no behavioral aspects, no genetic, no diseases, no chronic diseases. That is, it is exclusively your genetic child, and all the genetic information is only from you, from the carrier of the sperm and egg. The genetic mother is only a vessel. In the process of preparing surrogate mothers for transfer, the company Surrogate Service necessarily examines all surrogate mothers for any possible infections. Therefore, those surrogate mothers who have any infection will not undergo the transfer, or it will be conducted only after treatment and confirmation of negative results. The entire surrogacy process generally takes about 12 months. We need to conduct stimulation either for you or the donor. This will take 3 weeks. Genetic testing of the embryo will take 3 weeks. And then the preparation of the surrogate mother, which begins simultaneously with the creation of the embryo. The embryo transfer requires preparation of about 3 weeks, accordingly 9 months of pregnancy. Plus, if we add this process, it comes to about 11 to 12 months. There is no difference in the health of the children. Children carried by the biological mother and children carried by a surrogate mother have no difference in health. That is, I will repeat once more, it is exclusively your genetics, and the surrogate mother only carries your child. Hormonal stimulation, which is conducted by the surrogate mother for preparation for embryo transfer, does not affect your embryo. There were studies that suggested certain progesterone medications cause a hypogonadotropic state in boys born after that, but currently these medications are not used in preparation or during pregnancy. Thus, the medications we use in the preparation program for in vitro fertilization do not affect your future baby in any way. There is one point I must mention. When we transfer 2 embryos into the uterine cavity and want to have twins as a result, a multiple pregnancy is a risk factor in itself, regardless of who is carrying it, a surrogate mother or a biological mother. Therefore, ideally, no more than 1 embryo should be transferred. This applies to all programs, IVF programs. And in the world, clinics that respect themselves generally try to transfer no more than one genetically tested embryo to avoid multiple pregnancies, which, yes, are a risk factor for premature births. Circ Service Company holds the same opinion, and we try not to transfer more than one embryo into the uterine cavity. There is one point that in 1.6% of cases, it happens that the embryo splits, and transferring one embryo, we end up with twins. This is quite rare, but such a situation is possible. Yes, indeed, in some countries, the legislation is arranged in such a way that the child is registered to the surrogate mother in the maternity hospital. In Georgia, this issue is resolved in such a way that after birth, the child is immediately registered to the biological parents. The surrogate mother has no rights to the child, and therefore this situation is excluded. Thank you very much for watching the video to the end. If you found it helpful, support us with likes and subscribe to our channel. In the next videos, we will cover even more topics and answer your most pressing questions.